Welcome to Gamer Ability. I'm your host Sixpenny, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to change some of the Cyberpunk 2077 graphics and game settings to help alleviate some motion sickness that I experienced when playing the games. There's some games that I'm just more sensitive to than others, that I get a little bit dizzy, I get a little nauseous. So what I did was I went through the settings and made changes that made a huge difference. So I'm going to start with, let's just look at the default settings here. So the first thing that you'll notice is it looks blurry. If you look at the motion blur in the distance, it's film grain is the setting that's on. It just looks a little blurry. Depth of field is another one. So if we just sprint here, move around, get into the car. There's some exaggerated head movements too. To help, so this was making me dizzy. After about 5-10 minutes, this movement was too much for me. The head bob, the movement was too much. So what you can do, so if you go to settings, first thing you want to go to is you want to go watch my controls video where I talk about the best controls. Changing the controls to the settings that I use have made a huge difference when using a controller. The default settings are sluggish, they do not feel good, so click on that video in the description below and watch that. If your controller's not right, that's going to cause some motion sickness as well. So let's get into gameplay. Now, the big one is additive camera motions. I changed this to reduce. You can turn them off. So if we turn them off and go back in the game, my head's level. So that may be what you have to do to feel natural to you. Now when you get into and out of a car, it's really going to be no additive motions there. Get out's the same way. So I like reduced, but you can turn it off as well. If you suffer from motion sickness, probably the best setting for you, severe ones, is probably going to be the off. But I use reduced. I think it feels the best to me. And then snap to target. So if you snap to target on, yes, it's going to help you aim. But it's also going to feel, it can be disoriented at times, snapping to target. So you may turn that off. I like it better turned off because I don't like it snapping to target difficulty-wise. But it can also be disorienting when it snaps to target. Let's move into graphics. These are the big ones. The first one that's huge for motion sickness is field of view. Now, it's default on 80. I like 90, but some people like higher. Now, the game on PC, you can only go up to about 100. That's the slider, but you can also, I believe you can alter some game files to increase this a little higher. I think it looks a little bit weird when you get above 100, but 90 feels right for me. But adjust the higher, usually is going to help you have a little less problems with, for me anyway, it helps me have less motion disturbances. So now the big ones: film grain, chromatic aberration, depth of field, lens flare, and motion blur. You want to turn all these off. We do not need film grain, it makes it blurry. Simulate the refraction of light on camera lenses. It's disorienting. Depth of field, we don't want distant objects to be unfocused. We want everything to be in focus so there's less changes on screen. Lens flare, we do not want light scattering off lenses. It's just another additive effect on the screen that can cause some sensitivity. Motion blur, turn it off. Now, let's just go into the game and look at it. So already, look how much better it looks. We don't have that blurriness. It looks smooth. Lighting looks better. We don't have those crazy reflections of lighting. Now there's still, the lights there, but it looks better than it did before. So then as we get in a vehicle, you're not going to have the motion blur while driving. This made a huge effect to me, along with the field of view, reduce additive motions, changing those graphic settings, made a huge improvement. Now keep in mind, this is on PC. I haven't played this game on console. I don't know. There's probably not the same options on console. Maybe you can change some of them that can help. But I know on PC, these are all the settings you can change. Now, if you want to take this further, you can go into graphics settings and change some of the shadow quality, cascaded shadows, resolution, distant shadows resolution, volumetric fog resolution, volumetric cloud quality. This is not only going to help, for me it helped with less changes on the screen. I didn't really notice the shadows or fogs as much in the distance, so that's what made it better for me as in regards to motion sickness, but it's also going to improve your frames per second. When I moved the cascade shadows resolution and cascaded shadows range from high to medium, my FPS boosted by about 10 frames per second, which is huge. So these are some of the things that really helped me have less motion sickness when playing this game. So just to review, change controls first. Look at my settings, watch my control videos. That will help the game feel less sluggish and more responsive on the controls. Go to gameplay settings. Turn off or reduce the additive camera motions. Off will probably have the greatest effect to alleviate the motion sickness. Another one I like reduce because to me it feels a little bit more realistic, but you don't have to do that. Turn off snap to target if that change in snapping to target is throwing you off a little bit. Go into graphics, increase the field of view. Turn off film grain, chromatic aberration, depth of field, lens flare, and motion blur, and you can change some of the cascaded shadows, distant shadows, volumetric fog resolution to medium so that it's less noticeable in the distance and changes on the screen. So those are my settings that have greatly reduced. This game doesn't bother me anymore. I can play it for 4 hours without a problem. But before, after about 10 minutes, it was really making me dizzy. It was really throwing me off, and to where I had to set it down. And then I messed with the settings, found these settings, and the game is so much more enjoyable for me. I can actually enjoy it without experiencing motion problems. So make sure you check these settings out. I hope this helps you. Thank you for watching this video till the end. If you liked it, don't forget to click the like button and consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date on all my future Cyberpunk 2077 videos and all my other gaming videos as well. Have a fantastic day. Let me know down in the comment sections below if this is helpful and what settings you've changed to help alleviate some of the motion problems you're experiencing in this game. Stay tuned for many more videos. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and keep coming back for more content like this and to improve your gamer ability.